Hey everybody, February 26th, National Pistachio Day. Today, we're doing something I've done once before just because I had to try it. And it came out really good. So I'm going to show you how to do it today. You know, on Facebook all the time people pass around these pictures of like a cake or a pie or a dinner or some kind of food thing, that some recipe, and there's the glamorous glossy picture. And it just makes you go, oh my God, look at that, I gotta have to make that. Well, there was one like that got shared by a friend of mine, and then I picked it up and I shared it, and then somebody else shared it, and on and on and on and on and on. But most of the time, people just post a picture and just say, wow, love to have this, but never actually make it. This one I actually did once before, came out amazing, so we're gonna do it again today. It's a pistachio cheesecake. Here's the picture that you might have seen on Facebook. That's the one, right? How many of you have seen this picture and how many of you have made it? So that's what we're making today, okay? So we have all our ingredients laid out. It's literally 9 ingredients. 5 for the crust, 4 for the filling. It doesn't get much easier than that. Alrighty? Let's see what we need and let's get started. Okay, for the crust you need a cup of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of ground almonds, a quarter cup of sugar, a half a cup of unsalted butter, that's 1 stick, and a quarter teaspoon of almond extract. Alright, so let's get started making our crust. First thing we're going to do is put in our food processor our flour, our almonds, and our sugar. And we're just going to pulse it a few times just to mix those couple ingredients together. Now to that we're going to add our quarter teaspoon of almond extract, so just a little pinch of that, okay? And our cold butter. I cut it up into pats, and then we're just going to run it until we get a nice crumbly dough. Okay, so that's what you want. See how it's nice and crumbly? Now we're just going to add that right to our springform pan. Here's our crumbly mixture. We're just going to press it into the bottom of the springform and up the sides, okay? Because we want to have a nice base all the way around. I'll show you as soon as I have this all in place what it should look like. Okay, so there it is. It's all pressed in. It doesn't necessarily have to be even all the way, you know, up here. You know, if it's a little choppy, but who cares? We're not looking for perfection. We're not going to be selling this thing or anything. It's basically for us to eat and share. And I'm sure your friends ain't going to care, and I'm sure they're not going to be sitting there eating your cheesecake going, you know, it's really good, but this crust is a little uneven. Alrighty, next step coming up. Now on to our filling. 4 ingredients. That's it. 6 blocks of cream cheese. Now I know that's a lot. But, like I said, because there's only 4 ingredients, I mean, usually you have cream cheese, you have heavy cream, you have sour cream, you have sugar, you have all this stuff that you add in here. This is 4 ingredients. Cream cheese. Our condensed milk. Make sure you get in there and get all of that, because this is going to sweeten up your cake. This is why you don't need sugar in it. And I thought that too when I made this the first time. Like, is this thing going to taste like cheese? Like, is it going to be sweet enough to, you know, hold a cheesecake? But this has sugar in it, and your sweetened condensed milk is pretty sweet, so you're not going to need to add sugar to this, believe me. pistachio pudding mix, instant. 2 packages. The smaller box, not the big box, the small, you know, whatever it is. 3.5, 4 ounces, something like that. Okay? That's it. Well, except for our eggs. But let's get this in here first. We're going to add our eggs last. Now, this is the important part as far as, this is why, start off on slow, this is why you soften, you leave your cream cheese out for a little bit, and your eggs and stuff. You want everything at room temperature because you need this cream cheese to be soft enough to really start blending your ingredients. If you're using hard blocks of cream cheese, it is not going to blend right. I've made that mistake where I made a cheesecake, and when I was done mixing the batter, it like was chunky, like there was pieces of the cream cheese. It didn't blend all the way through, which I thought was kind of weird, and it was probably because I was using cold cream cheese. Okay, so as you can see, our mixture is turning green here, which is nice. We can turn that up a little bit, considering we just wanted to start it slow so the pudding didn't fly all up in our face. You know, I warn you about that all the time. Okay, we just want to make sure this gets pretty well incorporated. Okay, and once you got that stuff mixed, you got your 5 eggs here. You're just going to try to add, like, you know, 1 at a time. Okay, now while our batter was mixing, the important rules of cheesecaking. Got my water bath ready, because you need a water bath if you don't want cracks in your cheesecake. Also, double and triple wrapped with foil the bottom of my pan. Now, I've said this before, for those of you that have never made cheesecake before, you may think that there's a nice tight seal when you clip that springform pan closed. It's not as tight as you think. It will leak. Trust me. Okay, especially you're going to think, oh, I have a crust that goes up the side, so the part where they join is sealed, and I have this crust that'll keep any of the stuff. The butter in your crust will leak. Once it starts to cook, the butter will leak out of the bottom of your pan. That's all. I'm not going to say it again. I don't want to sound like I'm, you know, harping on you there, but I've had it happen, and there's nothing worse than when you're baking something and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you start to smell something burning and you don't know what it is, and you get up and you think, oh my god, my cheesecake is burning, and you run to the stove and you open it up and all this smoke comes out. And why? Not because your cheesecake is burning, because it dripped all in the bottom of your oven, and that's what's burning. So take the 2 minutes, not even a minute, to wrap the bottom of your springform, okay? So here's our cheesecake mixture. We're just going to try to make it as smooth as possible. Okay? Just so it bakes kind of evenly. Okay, there you go, perfect. Now our oven has been preheating at 350. I guess I should have told you that earlier. But remember, you're supposed to watch these videos all the way through first. So now you know. So there's our cheesecake batter. There is our water bath. Into the oven, 350, 1 hour. See you then. Alrighty. That's perfect. Exactly what we want. No cracks. Like I said, no cracks. Perfect. It's still a little jiggly, which is what you want. You don't want it cooked all, you know, set when you take it out, because then you're going to wind up with a firm, hard cheesecake. So you want it still a little jiggly, so that way when it does set, perfect, creamy cheesecake. And this cheesecake, let me tell you, my favorite kind of cheesecake is a diner cheesecake. If you live in Jersey, Jersey diner cheesecake is like the creamiest, most delicious cheesecake. It's taken me forever to try to find a recipe that's as close to that as possible. This one is like that. I don't know if it's the sweetened condensed milk, if it's the pudding mix, I don't know what it is. I'm thinking it's the sweetened condensed milk and the cream cheese. makes this like the most ultimate creamy cheesecake. And it's pistachio on top of it, so works really well. Alrighty, this one's coming out of the water bath. We're gonna let it sit, get to room temperature, then we're gonna refrigerate it. So we're probably not gonna taste this one till later tonight or maybe even tomorrow. And then it won't be pistachio day anymore. So we're gonna have to do it later tonight. Even if it's 11:59, I don't care. At least I get that piece of cake in before midnight and it's still pistachio day. Alrighty, so there it is. Let's get going. Okay, I wanted to get you a close-up of it. See? No cracks. This is exactly why you water bath it. And it's probably still hot. See how jiggly? That's what you want. You want it a little jiggly still. Getting jiggly with it, people. See you in a few. It's tasting time. It's been sitting all day. Look at that. Ooh, I got a good grab on that. Look at that beautiful cheesecake. Pistachio cheesecake. Like I said, we made this once before and it was fantastic. So I'm anxious to see if it's as good as I remember. It's all in the taste. It doesn't matter if it breaks off or not. I know we broke a little piece off. It's over there. Alrighty. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. If you're from Jersey, this is like Jersey diner cheesecake. Okay? It's creamy, it's light, perfect. Oh, so good. And with a little bit of pistachio flavor, it's not overpowering pistachio, but you definitely taste it. Really, really good. Like I said, you've seen this picture all over Facebook. People posting and reposting this pistachio cheesecake. Make it. It's worth it. Alright. Pistachio day. Doesn't have to be a cheesecake. Go buy a bag of nuts. And sit there cracking them open. Alrighty, but do something pistachio today. See you tomorrow.